Alright, back with Warhammer. Last we finished off Kiava Gamma. Bunch of cultist stuff. They really dug their trenches in, but we managed to, kill them all. Our party is really strong with Furiate. Sorry, Argenta, but you might be getting sidelined for a bit. And yeah, it went relatively smooth. I forgot to save, apparently, after last time, so I had to redo that ending bit. Nothing different at all. But I was like, huh. Why am I not back to the world map until I saw it do that part? So yeah, friendly reminder to save things. Something though, I took care of her leveling Argenta. Just gave her, that's not the correct thing. Also Jai increased Inspire, and then Argenta, I just, got the thing that gives AP when you, waiting orders. So that way you can, buff her. And, still save them our action economy. Besides that, nothing else. Something, though, is I think we're going to go with Janus and go with the Capella Biologist. Mostly because I was like, oh, med kits or whatever. But I noticed. Effectively removes traumas, which is pretty huge. So we're going to lose one of our mechanisms. 2 of our plasteel. I don't know how we survive. Although we are getting a little low on plasteel now. But that is fine, and it gives us something to do. So we're going to do this. And, that should be a pretty big upgrade once that's done. Because I was kind of holding out on them. But yeah, we'll also get some more profit factor, which we don't really need much. We have 51. But cool. Cool. Let's go to Novella Septum here. Cool. Actually, I was meaning to forge a path from... Yeah. Well, let's visit here. I also need to go to the merchants, because we've got a lot of goods to sell, and we've got a decent amount of profit factor, too. But I guess we'll check out these planets. 7 Promethium. That's a very large amount. Even though we don't need Promethium, it's the thing we need the least of. 7 is pretty darn good. Santil's pride hives are oozing noxious haze veined with sulfurous streaks. The Promethium fires fumes of giant distilling cauldrons located beyond temperature shields. Vast, endless deadlands litter the spots of Promethium stations refineries separate the colossi of Rockreet, adamantine from the crown of gargantuan spires. The heat of the system's stars turned the world into a boiling but lucrative gland within the body of House Corda Protectorate. Hard to tell it's more impressive. The grotesque grandeur of this place has extreme toxicity. Building? Okay, well, I guess. I'm assuming places named like that might come up later as something of actual interest. We haven't been finding too much adamantite, so we're gonna grab that. Cool. Well, that was relatively painless. Okay. Actually, I hate that we have to go back to the bridge. So I wanted to see our merchants. There really should be just a merchant tab when you're in the overworld like this. Because there's really no, I mean, I guess you talk to our High Factorum, but like he doesn't also do anything really. So it's just an extra like 2 loading screens per shopping trip, which is kind of unnecessary. Oh, we also need to talk to Heinrichs, actually.
To what do I owe this visit?
Yeah, Kiava Gamma. Oh, voice acting.
The data we retrieved is already in the hands of the Inquisition, in the custody of those who can extract the secrets of the future from the claws of chaos. The sacrifices made to the Cogitator will not have been for nothing.
Maybe it's just like the wording of like made him more callous, but he doesn't feel more callous than an Inquisitor of the Inquisitor would be, right? So I don't know.
We dealt a blow.
Maybe it's like you haven't changed him.
But
There's
to
more
the
of
arch
it.
enemy itself, I cannot help but be pleased. However, there is something I must tell you. Back there at the Cogitator, my decision to let it complete its operation allowed me to, I can't even find words, to perceive something of what is to come. You deserve to know this. The cult is threatening the worlds within your protectorate, after all. I could choose to think of it as an echo of the past, or a specter of the future. But that's not it. Warp sorcery joins stretches of time together, violating the accepted sequence and flow of events. I heard a resonance of the person behind the cult. I faced demons more than once before, but this? I couldn't have imagined such a concentration of evil and corruption. I am convinced that one of the greater demons is behind the cult of the Final Dawn. Beware the day when that demon finds a way to appear in this world.
So we've mostly seen, like, Senich, but we did run into a smidgen of, God, what's his name? The, like, disease pestilence guy. Well, we have a decent chance here, so...
No servant of the God Emperor has closer dealings with corruption than the agents of the Golden Throne. In its quest to guard the Imperium against its foes' most devious and secret schemes, the Inquisition seeks to understand the essence of evil. It is not enough for us to burn or cut down, we must study it, understand. Every time any of us do our duty, we are risking our very souls. But when it comes to Psykers, the soul of a Psyker is especially enticing to the archenemy.
I'll take my 7 experience.
I was operating the machine created by the servants of the archenemy, and in doing so, I attracted the attention of the cult's master. Thank the throne that it was only a glancing touch. If it hadn't been, we would not be speaking here today. When I touched the cult's cogitator, I drew the thousand-eye gaze of evil upon myself, as any agent does when they interfere in the schemes of those who serve the ruinous powers. And that evil undoubtedly left an invisible mark upon me, as it does on any acolyte who fights against the archenemy. And this will be the case every time I do my duty. I know a good deal about the fates of those who have served the throne before me. Enough to know that my path leads to one place, and one place only.
What are you gonna do next?
My visit to Kiava Gamma did not produce answers to all my questions, but we did succeed in dealing a blow to the cult by destroying the Fabricator Sensor's machine. I have directed my spies to track the sect's surviving leaders. I am certain that they will have useful information for us soon. Though small, this is a victory for the Golden Throne, and I have you to thank for it.
Cool. I'll bail for now.
Thank you for finding the time for our conversation.
I also want to talk to Pascal. He was the other one who had, like, actual major things happening. Let's go shopping first. Okay. Do we have anything? We do. I mean, we get slightly better guns. Which, I mean, I'll take it. It's not even good as the other ones we have. Really, ideally, we could get that. But, yeah, beggars can't be choosers. Okay, so things we are looking for here. We can check our colonies in this menu. It's so funny we can check our colonies here, but we can't. Okay, so we could do that because we have the phlogiston. So we'll have to decide between Epiphany and Good Tidings. I think we're going to do Good Tidings. We do get more complacency, although security is nice. Drusians. Some invasion, some Drusian, or we have the Explorators, which we can do now. Useless item, but we get some Explorator stuff and some efficiency and complacency, while we only get a little bit of... Although it's for all colonies, that is actually a big difference. That actually makes Good Tidings a lot more interesting, because we can get +2 complacency for all colonies. That's a bigger thing. Anyways, I was just looking for reputation stuff, locked stuff, basically. Casablanca mission, Drusians, and Kiava Gamma, we're still waiting. Okay. So, we probably have a lot of exploratory stuff going on here. Let's see. Expensive stuff. We could get the Precise Bolter, which is an upgrade for as a lady. Or some heretical stuff. Could do heretic trophies. Well, we'll give you one. Alright. Fellowship of the Void, you also take heretic trophies, right? Do you have anything we want? Staff of Endless Flame is the next thing. We don't have a Pyromancer, so... This allows our non-bounty hunters to gain bounty hunter bonuses, which is actually pretty interesting. Especially we could give this like Earliot, maybe? I know she has the other thing that's useful, but this would allow her to get more crit damage. Needle Pistol, Tactical Backpack. +1 rate of fire is pretty solid. Nothing super interesting. Explorators, Targeting Visor. That does translate to crit chance, so it's not actually too bad. And then Drusians. I mean, it's not bad. And that's just some better armor. Okay, well, let's do some Drusian stuff here. We don't really have much of anything worthwhile. Okay, well, you can have the provisions. Explorators. You have the Mechanicus creations. I know, we're like equally leveling everything, which doesn't actually like progress anything very quickly, but there you go. You can at least move on there. Yeah, nothing super like interesting here for me though. Yeah, we'll just get the Drusians going. Camaraderie badge is the least theoretically useful. And some better light armor is also super useful. So, just quickly, we can throw this on ourselves. Because we have a +7% dodge, which isn't terrible, but this gives us +10 agility. You can't equip that, obviously. You're better off with the awareness job because it's 11%. Heinrichs. +9%. And you're rocking the medium armor. No. I think this might be for us. Do you have heavy armor yet? Yes, you do. I was just making sure. You have literally nothing here, and you do have... So, +8 temporary wounds. Not terrible, because that does give, potentially, Abelard more wounds at the start of his turn. I think we, unironically, just give this to Heinrichs. Because it's a lot more armor for him. Okay, and since he's our frontline guy. Loses a smidgen of dodge, but he gets a lot more armor, almost double. Not almost double, but a very solid amount of armor. Where the heck are you, mister? Okay, I'm on the wrong side of the map. Alright, Pascal, did you find the evil things?
I have destroyed it.
Oh. Slight telltale rattle in Pascal's voice makes him sound unconvincing. You're lying.
This statement
He sighs.
I am yet to settle into a definitive course of action. I am running a spot diagnostic on the memory of the heretic dements. Even though purity protocols stipulate that his blasphemous knowledge must be eradicated. I am not drawn toward forbidden information, but only to data concerning the blessed Amonats.
Have you found anything?
The success has been partial. Dement's Haneman's identity has been confirmed. The widespread influence of paranoid motivations is observable in his cognitive processes, which is what seems to have caused him to break his vows. However, extensive regions of his memory have been damaged by forbidden technologies and are, for now, defying decryption.
Alright, we equipped him.
An echo of the warp. Energies of the immaterium that had seeped into real space and taken the shape of a Vox signal. I have found recorded cases of similarly induced corruption in the archive. Listening to the void is a perilous occupation.
Information on the Archmagus Armanat?
The data discovered is unreadable. It is encrypted, albeit only partially, and I hypothesize that the heretic Demence was attempting to decrypt it. I will take every effort to extract a larger volume of data. Information pointing to the unit referred to as the Maimed Hunter is alleged to be of critical significance.
Interesting. So I feel like these options are going to, like, really, send him on a path there. So let me reread this real quickly. But you did want to know what he knew. You were interested.
The quest for knowledge is our mission of highest priority. But what Demence promised was not knowledge, but a distorted copy of it. This was not what the Deus Mechanicus had told us to seek.
Alright, continue your research.
Response? Affirmative. The decryption will continue with diligence. May your labors...
Still just in caution. I don't want our man becoming a corrupted tech priest. Alright. I think we are good enough to travel again. Now, that's been taken care of. Let's equip our new guns. Oh, they are long range, actually. That actually significantly changes the calculation there. So we want to get rid of the Mars. I wish they had slightly different images. $421. Alright, torpedoes, good. Mezzo Lance. Lance really doesn't do much. Like, it's a good harasser thing from the front, but we already have the dorsal lance, which is very strong. Yeah, the Mezzo macro cannons are really garbage, though. We'll just leave it. Alright. Quickly save everything so I don't forget it. And we already did that combat. What do we actually have left to do? We have to go to Dargonis. Eldari survivors. That's Dargonis. Alright, everything's telling us to go to Dargonis, which is here? Eldari. Yeah, Dargonis. Okay. How do we get there? Looks like from here. Okay. Oh, but how do we get here? It's actually also very interesting. Looks like we actually have to probably tunnel a path there. Alright, we're gonna travel here. I assume that's a colony thing finishing? Yes. Why did we gain 2? Huh. So, railway or Drusians? I really wish I had. So, foul zone is +1 there. Does foul zone actually produce a single thing besides that one? Doesn't really seem like it. Okay. So in that case, efficiency doesn't really matter, right? So we get exploratory rep if we do this, which isn't that bad, and this is, I guess, okay for Heinrichs, right? But you know, it's just a little bit of damage. I don't think it can crit or anything. Complacency's nice, but I think the Cemetery of the Faithful is actually much more useful because project-wide, or you know, colony-wide, colonies-wide, systems-wide, not systems. I guess just empire, whatever we call our territory, collective. And a little bit of evasion, so I think that's probably better. We will do this though. You get the 2 complacency for the whole thing because we have phlogiston and adamantite, and we're going to be low on phlogiston. But, you know, a little bit extra crit doesn't hurt. Cool. Alright, so, is Janice? Yes. Cool. And this will save us some time. Great. And ideally, we could also reduce the risk of this one into here. That's fine. We also had some space combat we need to do in some of these worlds. Yeah, space combat. Space combat. So we'll come back to those ones, because we were getting our butt kicked, pretty much. Reduce this guy. Cool. We'll see if the ship combat over here is a little bit easier. I really just want one more level of our ship before we do those, because we'll get more perks and stuff. Kiava Gamma is good to go. Tech priests have made a sinister discovery on Kiava Gamma. The blasphemous machine built at the behest of the wicked Cubist Delphim. The mechanism is capable of picking up the whispers of the warp, and this seems to occasionally transmit a discordic binary melody into nowhere. But the encrypted data or other threats have been detected. It seems no encrypted data or other threats have been detected. It seems to be functional side effect of sorts. Of course, the idea of using a machine instead of astropaths to contact voice of the warp may seem tempting, but this machine is teeming with corruption. Its fuel tanks are satiated with the liquefied souls of your subjects. It's enough for now, but someday it will have to be refilled. How could he construct such a powerful and monstrous machine? To find the dictums of the Omnissiah, the heretic had entered into a dangerous field of experimentation with warp technology. It is dangerous knowledge, but the ancient, incredibly complex Vox Core of the mechanism is much older than Delphim was. He'd probably found it here and made use of it to fulfill his needs. Risk of using the machines. Typical contact with Immaterium intercepts information from the warp which puts to mind the souls of the staff serving the machine in jeopardy. The warp is treacherous. What about my retinue? On behalf of the Inquisition, I hereby declare a ban on any contact with this device. It must be removed and given to our acolytes. Normally that would be all, but I will explain further out of respect for you. The Inquisition can reap the benefits from this heretical machine. Our trained acolytes are able to carry a vigil near it, carefully listening to dark whispers of the spirits and Immaterium without succumbing to their corruption. We could discover their plans and warn the Rochair whenever threat would loom over his domain. Daemons want us to hear their vile speeches. Let them hear our righteous cry. Let some of the most zealous preachers that would dedicate their lives and zeal to reading a litany of fury and rage to this machine. Let the inhabitants of the warp hear and fear us. This blasphemous creation has been anathematized and deconstructed. Has to be anathematized. That is a word. Holy crap. Anathematized. I can't speak. I'm giving up. I said it correctly once, and that was it. Alright, and deconstructed. In the name of total knowledge acquisition, the principles of this work must be inspected beforehand in great secrecy, requesting the right to investigate the heretical device before disposing of it. Anathematicized. Okay. Otherworldly observer. What is that? Like how we gain it even if we literally take the machine away. We lose some complacency, but we gain security. 5,000 reputation points, and we gain emperors. Security. No. Empyrean transceiver. Okay, well I should be able to look that up, and then we can just destroy it. But lose some efficiency. Alright, well, quickly. Is this item worth anything? Temporary wounds? No one cares. Okay. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but our characters that want temporary wounds are perfectly fine. So, probably Heinrich's here. Heinrich's or Argenta. Let's see. I swear to God, they used to have the tooltips tell us things, and then they didn't. And, like, if it was... I can't tell if that's intentional or not. Because, you know, big patches break a lot of things. Like, for example, they moved the, like, armor tooltips and that stuff into, like, the weird little dashes here. Right? And that's not clear at all. Okay. Warhammer 40k. Rogue. Trader. Emperor's voice, and this is probably just going to get results of voice of the Emperor. Okay, useless information. And the other one is... God, why can't you just tell me things? Okay. Let's see. Surely. Alright, well. Does suck that you can't know anything, really. Because these are big, like, decisions. And you can see them for, like, the other colony projects, right? So I have to imagine it's not intentional. And you used to be able to see them. So I think we're going to do Heinrich's. What do we do? So Emperor's Voice apparently is a persuasion buff. You know what we're going to do? I think what I'm going to do is try one, and if it's not what I want, we'll throw it away. Cool. Then we also got that. Okay, well now I have to see what the hell that buff is. Seven awareness for all allies. Okay, and so the other one was like 7 persuasion for all allies. Awareness is more useful, so I'm fine with that. all of our stats. Okay, well. Sorry it took a bit there. It's just one of those cases where it's like, what do I do? You aren't giving me any information. Yeah, we're low on a lot of materials here, not gonna lie. This doesn't break anything, and we give up our last phlogiston, but besides that, we get Explorator Rep, Efficiency, Profit Factor. Interesting. We don't really apply any of those. Hemorrhage isn't bleeding, it's a different thing. But I mean, it really doesn't cost us anything, in honesty. And we get a lot of Explorator Rep, and Profit Factor, and Efficiency. So, let's go for it. And it doesn't cancel anything, and that's the other thing. Oh, Janice, okay. Troubling news arrived from Janice. Your Lord's Rush have saved. Okay. While digging an irrigation ditch, the workers found a Xeno obelisk made from unknown material. It was delivered to the laboratorium and subjected to a number of tests, one of which caused a reaction. The obelisk generated a low-frequency vibration, and events to follow were catastrophic. Series of anomalies were recorded in the Epsilon 2 Majoris region. It's almost like Janice itself is fighting us there. Many logistical chains have been disrupted. The only people who visit the uncontrolled territory are wretches fleeing deeper into the region in greater and greater numbers. Observers report strange fires in the sky at night, completely imperceptible to augurs. Esteemed Ultra Inquisitors are gathering freemen and daredevils for an expedition to the heart of the region. They assume a priceless trove of xenomechanisms is waiting for them inside. What's happening there? Yep, vegetation. Plants only 2 days to overrun the complexes of the region. Extinct species local megafauna have been spotted in newly formed jungle, aggressive and acting in unnatural cohesion. How are the Rushes involved? We don't know. It's all they received a signal telling them to abandon their work and rush deep into the afflicted territory. Some people were stopped by the Watchmen appointed by your order. Unfortunately, about 100 still made their way into the region. Okay. Let's get some advice. The nature of Janus is rising up. It's a lucky coincidence that Janus harvests specialists who are not only experts in controlling life, but also destroying it as well. Reports of Magos Bioglis Capella make no mention of storing weapons of mass destruction. I have no doubt they do possess some. They always do. I see no reason not to let them use it against this, whatever it is. Deployment of fortified research stations in the affected sectors is recommended. The benefit of gaining more information justifies the increased casualty rate. Sickly creatures know that there's pestilent growth that know more about this pestilent growth than we do, something we must amend quickly. We should catch some mutants and force them to cooperate, and then we can learn what we're dealing with. Okay, so we can do some of these things for free now. We used to have to, like, pay for them. Okay. Janus Warlord. Resources for plasteel. We can get plasteel pretty easily. Some torpedo launchers. And Blessing of the Warp Spider. Which, you know, we're not allowed to know anything in those. Okay, there's actually a thing here. Whenever the wearer kills an enemy or scores a critical hit, they gain 2 MP on their next turn. Useful, but not crazy. Torpedo launchers, I think, are worth it. And what's Janus Warlord? It's red, so it sounds bad. But who knows? The UI in this update has... I know they said they fixed the UI, right? These are UI improvements, but for the most part, I've been the UI is worse in my opinion. It's harder to find information for your combat stuff. It's kind of I don't know, they changed the text size, broke something, I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it as much. And then Janus Warlord, right? Sorry this has become the looking up everything. But, you know, fix your UI. Okay. I wish Google would give me results. Can't find anything. Great. Great. I sure like not being able to find anything ever. Alright, we're doing the research. I want these torpedo launchers. Do we have information? We do have information on the torpedo launchers, at least. 4 torpedoes with 30 damage? Sure. Why not? It's the only thing that seems worthwhile, because we don't know what Warlord is. But may Omnissiah be merciful in souls to give us their names and lives to obtain knowledge. Scouts who ventured into harder to affected regions discovered ancient Xenos creations emerging from the ground. The afflicted region reacted to incursions by expanding and swallowing up some of the neighboring agri complexes. It does suck, because like this would be some of like the more interesting colony stuff for me, but because it doesn't tell you anything, it's just kind of like, well, like, I'd rather they didn't tell you anything rather than telling you just like half information. Right? I'd rather there be no tooltip, and you just got what you got instead of having to like make an extremely uninformed decision with like partial information rather than just being like, because I can see the argument for not telling you the specifics for you to make a like more narrative based decision, right, process, but that falls apart because you gave us the half information, so it's like, what are you doing? Why would we even know what we get here then? So it does not feel intentional. It feels like a UI bug, in my opinion. How it's implemented, at the very least. Because you can open UI sometimes in some things, but... complaints. Fortified observation stations were set up in the largest cluster of ruins. Priceless data and artifacts collected were paid for the lives of many watchmen and fought against the onslaught of Janices and ranged wilds. And we have those guys. New Janus project. We can't do any new Janus progress. What's it take to... Ah. Okay, we're actually on material now. And this is reputation. Cool. And Falstone's still vibing. Got it. Okay, well... Okay, they are better than ours. I mean, we get one less torpedo, but they're Aldari Sonic torpedoes, which maybe are better. Also, we need to equip this on our guy, right? Less damage, less armor pen, but we can use the plasma attacks. Which, you know, we're not allowed to see what that actually means for some reason in the menu, because we can't figure out how to design UI, apparently. It's weird. It has to be bugs. It has to be bugs. I'm just coping with that, but like, I feel like it worked earlier. And now you can't like even observe what your attacks do, even if you scroll over them. Which is less than ideal, in my opinion. Alright, complaints away. I'm just complaining. Alright, let's equip that. Let's visit this sector. Okay. Here's the combat. Yeah, 50 XP. I do like how many just like useless planets there are. You know, 6 plasteel might be worth it. I'll have to check the various planets. Oh, 5 provisions. Cold, windy planet is covered by a raging sea of mustard-gray gas so tall it reaches the average human's waist. The monotony of the endless steppe is occasionally broken by chains of murky green lakes, and our crew spots a far more interesting anomaly, a scar running several kilometers deep, splitting the world's equator in two. After 2 exploration watches, the crew intercepts a faint signal coming from one of the labor settlements in a deep chasm. Due to unstable connection and foreman mistakes your vessel for a winter-scale ship, one was due to arrive 9 cycles ago. Grimly reports that over the weak channel that the adamantite ore deposits on the world are nearly depleted, and that the planet will be fully mined out in less than a decade. With some difficulty, he picks up enough words to understand the ship order belongs to another rogue trader house and awkwardly apologizes and falls silent. At some point, connection cuts off completely, and you lose foreman and his prospects to wait for their real master. Okay, I need to check what other systems we have to see if it's worth putting up things here. Alright, attack first. Yeah. Some logistics stuff. But yeah, trying to try out this combat, see how it goes. And we should get our ship level from this one.
All stations, report when manned and ready.
Okay, so since we're attacking from here, these guys out here.
Fire the large batteries. Fire right now.
Angles are such a funny thing in this one. It's like, why is that angle the one hitting that side of the ship? Alright. Well, there's one kill.
Set the course.
We gotta spin around. Okay, they don't have a lance, but they have those torpedoes, which are probably very dangerous. Ooh, the sniper might be dead. It's a lot of torpedoes. Cool. Our torpedoes reload each turn.
Lay in the course.
We're gonna swing. Torpedo launch.
Annihilate them.
And just chill. Okay, oh, that one lived. Okay. So I think the plan here is fire our stuff. Do some damage, basically.
This one's going down.
And then come down here, warp jump away. They are long range. Yeah, they actually have a decent amount of range. Alright, well, let's kill this guy. Yeah,
Onward.
there we go. Okay. And then shallow jump to get out of the range of torpedoes. Oh, actual guns. Yeah, this combat felt so much easier. They don't have the true armada of, like, super long-range guns. Granted, those torpedoes probably hurt quite a bit. No, my torpedoes! I need those. Okay. How do we not get killed by those torpedoes? This might just be an about-face type situation.
Leave their hull strewn across the stars.
Well, we'll take a little bit of damage. I don't know if we've used this yet. But we'll do it, just so that way we have the use thing for when we want to upgrade it. Do a little bit of damage here. How dare you? You don't understand I need to kill you. Okay, hopefully we live.
Unleash our vengeful salvo!
Restart shields. Hoo-hoo, danger. Oh, okay, we're taking damage here. How dare you flee? No warp jump. Oh man, we actually might be dead here. Oh. Yeah, I think we got outplayed. We're still alive, technically. Do these explode our current torpedoes? No. Dude, he is far. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to get away. We don't really have a better option. So we lost so much health.
Torpedoes locked!
They pale before our mastery of the
Unfortunately,
void.
we are so broke. Because we can't even repair our ship. Because we took so much damage there. Okay. You know what? I think having 2 long ranges is much more helpful. Yeah. Increasing our range is pretty important. Okay, let's see here. New skills, new skills. That is very interesting. So we combine this with new heading. You know, gives us actually quite a bit of options to like circle around and shoot again. Okay, so Arc Augury might be good. Okay, we want our abilities on cooldown less. Oh, ultimate ability. Okay. More maneuverability. Just damage sounds great. Although... I think we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I think this is pretty funny. Because we just got crazy torpedoes. Okay, well, now for... you use once per combat. Oh, they can take multiple, like, actual, like, planet hops. Okay. Okay, cool. And we got a little bit of repair for free. Fortunately, we'll never be able to upgrade because we can never cross over to the threshold of 100. But, I think we're going to end this here. I'm probably going to place the... these guys after I compare it and that stuff off screen. But yeah, so progress. Our ship's better now. Finally, we have more abilities. We can probably actually go win those other fights that were pretty close. And, you know, pressing the colonies and we're heading towards Dragonis. So, good stuff.